Episode 1 for Season 2 of Telltale's Walking Dead game is now out, and boy does this game have a lot to live up to. Season 1 left us with a sour and shocked taste in our mouths after Lee's death and our uncertainty of Clementine's future and safety. In Episode 1, All That Remains, the story mainly takes place 16 months after the events of Season 1. We follow Clementine this time around as she struggles to fit in with a new group of survivors she stumbles upon in the woods. Not only is this a story about zombies and people surviving the outbreak, but it also adds other elements like a cheating wife and an uncle and a nephew that have always had problems getting along. But of course, all of our attention is focused on Clementine and how she has grown since we have first met her, to the point where we can actually start calling her a total badass. One thing that Telltale did the best last season was how they struck at our emotional chords by killing off anyone we really started to care about. And while I knew they had to keep this up, I feel like about halfway through the episode they took a really big cheap shot by introducing a loving character, and well, you'll just have to play it and find out for yourself. But my point is that by adding this into the game, it made me feel like Telltale is desperate to make us sad by doing the unnecessary just to create an easy shock moment. The choices in this game were to me very easy to make. Clementine is a good person and we all know that, so picking the wrong or the mean option just wasn't for me tempting at all. So this was less a game about options and more about the journey Clementine is on. In saying that though, because she has been through so much, I did feel myself clicking options that were so unlike Clementine in the first season. The dialogue options are very fun to play with, and they allow you to really mould Clem into the person you want her to be. The new characters we meet in Season 2 are very different to the cast in the first season. This time around it was very hard to get a read on who you could trust and who you could not. Everyone seemed to have a heap of baggage, and this made me really look forward to the next episode. The voice acting is once again spot on and well, perfect for this a deep emotional world. For those of you who have played Season 1, you will already know that the gameplay is very basic. You can move around certain areas freely and interact with certain items to progress the story. For example, early on in the game, Clem is in a bathroom, and in order to progress the story, you must click on each of the bathroom stalls. They changed things up a bit in the action scenes with quick time events. Press left to dodge a zombie, or tap the Q button to kick a zombie off you, and while this is very plain and simple, it really works in this game's favour because the button you need to press shows up so suddenly and makes the situation for the player very stressful. Other than the moments that Clem walks past an item you want to interact with and have clicked on, and the inaccurate WASD buttons, the gameplay was pretty clean and easy to get used to. Overall, All That Lived was a great experience. There was a cheap shot or two in there, but emotionally I was pretty invested the whole way through. I know it's only episode 1, but thus far the decisions I've made have been very quick and easy to decide, but I am almost certain things will change later on. Even though the gameplay's a tad clunky, it didn't take away from the game at all. I rate episode 1 of season 2 of The Walking Dead a solid 8.5 out of 10.